Welcome to the Running with James podcast, where every High Rocks athlete, OCR competitor, and the everyday runner has a place. We're passionate about building a community that supports, building confidence that empowers, and building champions who rise. Together, we'll push limits and chase what moves us. Remember, when you change your mind, you change your life. Now here's your host, James Wyatt.
And welcome back to another edition of Running with James, the podcast.
Not the movie.
Not the movie.
Who would play you in the movie?
Who would play me in the movie? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm sure he would be.
I want it to be The Rock. Wayne The Rock Johnson, but with a beard.
You remember we used to have our, before the time of Carlos. So what would that be? That'd be BC, before Carlos.
Yeah, BC.
Right? We had Rocky. You remember that? I think The Rock would be great to play Rocky. That would be like a perfect, because it's like kind of funny.
Are we going to get him a wig to like have Rocky's hair?
Yes, to have
with
Rocky
a pompadour,
hair.
Like that little
so
pompadour
good.
look.
That would be so good. Yes, that would be nice.
That would be fun.
Very good. But yeah, I have no earthly idea.
I was going to say a younger Vin Diesel, not the dad.
No, nobody wants Vin Diesel.
No, not the dad bod one. I'm talking about the one.
No, I know
like
who you're talking
from
about.
The first.
From Triple X.
Ugly guy, man.
It's not a
No,
Triple X guy.
I think if we were doing the movie, you'd get Vin Diesel.
I get Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
What about
I'm the ugly guy now?
What about what's the
You're more bald than I am.
what's the British the British oh my gosh, what's his name? The black guy, British, beard, really.
You are picking the worst people in the world.
Idris
the guy who was on
Idris
James...
Elba. Idris Elba. Thank you.
No,
He
that's
got
not
it.
the guy.
No, that is exactly who I'm thinking of. Idris Elba.
You're not thinking of the guy that was from James Bond?
No.
Okay.
No. Who are you thinking of?
I forgot his name.
No, I'm thinking Idris Elba. That's exactly who I'm thinking
Idris
of.
Elba?
Is it Idris or Idris?
I don't know.
Idris
British or
Elba.
not?
He's
Okay.
British, yeah.
So who's playing you? He's a little too black.
I
don't you think?
thought it, but I didn't want to say it.
He's a little
I mean,
too
wouldn't
dark.
The Rock be too tan to play Rocky? I mean, he's a
Rocky
pretty dark
Tan's in the
guy.
summer. Rocky Tan's real nice.
But that's
in
a
the
pretty tan guy.
He gets that Rocky.
He's got
I mean,
that
that
Samoan look.
Carlos caramel color. I
Does he?
think. I think
in the
so.
summer?
Maybe not.
Who would play me?
White
Yeah.
right
Probably
now.
Zoe Deschanel.
You wish.
I wish.
You
God, I wish.
You wish.
Oh man, that would
But
be
she would
awesome.
probably be able
To be me so
she would be able
well.
to do a good job. I don't think anybody could. I'd have to play myself.
Oh man, that
I'd
would be
have
like
to-
You
a
have to
dream.
do the like the Howard Stern movie. He played himself.
I'd have to play myself. No one could capture
The full essence.
the full
James,
like numbskullery that is James.
the James White experience.
Exactly. No one could truly capture that. It would have to be like a Oscar level performance from someone
Okay.
to really just dumb themselves down.
Just so the
that's-
fans know it's in the works. Right
Oh yeah.
now.
Oh yeah.
So
We've
it's-
already been contacted.
so
Just for, like,
scripts.
Netflix is going to be putting it out.
I would
Possibly
actually like to
Netflix.
put in, if I can't get Zoe Deschanel, I want to go in the opposite direction, and I want like a real like doesn't look like me at all, but like a real bombshell to play me. Who would that be?
Cardi B.
That would actually going
No.
oh god, that would actually be so funny.
No.
That would actually be so funny.
Okay.
2027.
There's no movie. We're moving on.
Cardi
It's gotten
B,
out of
let's
control.
talk about it.
What, isn't the first thing you said was listen, let's get off the rails?
Yeah, but that
And
was
all
funny.
you're doing is literally
Starting
you've
us
got
off
a
the
set of
rails.
freaking inline skates, and you're just riding the rail.
I was picturing
was
a train.
funny.
All the cars are
She's
over.
got what's the hobo that's got the little thing on his arm?
Oh yeah, the little
What?
The
satchel.
sack on
Yeah.
the stick, and she's jumped on the stinking
Train
Western
to-
Union. She's heading to Albuquerque.
Sure. Is that where that went?
I don't know. I'm thinking of Bugs Bunny, I think.
Oh, okay.
So today, guys, I had several people last week tell me how much they enjoyed last week.
Nice.
The imposter syndrome
Yeah.
episode we did. And I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was very insightful. And I thought, Lauren, you were bringing the heat last
I
week.
was joy last
You
week.
were like, it was like one
I was
bomb after
a-
the other you were bringing of just knowledge.
Just
fire.
I'm full of them.
Yeah. If we could have emojis, you know what I'm saying? Like we could have an emoji. We'd have had like 5, 6, 7 fire emojis.
Oh man,
Put
so
that
many.
put that episode on your highlight tape.
I should.
You should put it on your reel.
I was hot to trot.
You were killing it. So today we're going to continue on with that. We are on Coach's Clipboard Part 2.
Dos.
Do. So, and we are titling this one, Why Doing Less Can Make You Faster. Now, we obviously know that we have a very specific statement that we tell all of our athletes at the beginning. We tell them you got to slow down if you want to
go fast.
That's right. So it usually blows people's minds immediately. Yes. They're like, oh, this is the wrong place for me. I actually had a guy one time, he paid me, went to the first session, left, texted me like 2 days later and said, you know what, this plan's not going to work for me. This is a different direction that I want to go.
Well,
I said, well, you've been hurt and injured and slow for your whole life, but yeah, you go a different direction, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, he said, oh, and I think the last thing he said was, don't worry, you can keep the money. I don't expect a refund. I was like, well, that's nice of you because I wasn't giving you one because I've already spent an hour or 2 hours with you. You would give the money back, wouldn't you?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Oh,
She'd have given it back. She'd have felt
It
bad.
doesn't take much to twist my arm.
No.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Should have had to ask for it first.
Yeah.
So
That's actually a really good point. I've had to ask it paid first.
Oh man. Well, are you
No
still gonna
tip.
pay me by chance?
No tip.
No tips. Well, there's usually a moment in every athlete's journey where effort tends to stop working. So they tend to be training more, but they are improving less, right?
Yeah.
So they're showing up, but they're feeling flat. And instead of pulling back, they do the most dangerous thing possible, which I'm sure all of us have been guilty of. They add just a little bit more. So
it's not the good stuff either.
and no, it's usually the hard stuff, right?
Yeah, it's
usually
not like I'm going to do a recovery bike ride. You know what? I'm going to do some more stretching. It's very rare if I'm going to, more recovery. It's usually not the go-to answer for people. They're usually, like you said, doubling down on intensity.
For sure. Well, I mean, I'm all about hard work. I'm all about discipline, but hard work doesn't fix bad direction.
Nope.
Right? If you're going the wrong way and you're doing the wrong thing, just doing it harder is
Yeah.
not going to make it any better. You're not
Yeah.
powering through that.
You're digging that hole deeper.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, this is a conversation I have weekly as a coach.
I hear it all the time.
She hears it sitting over there.
I literally-
hears me having the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it constantly. You think I have that music playing all the time? I don't.
You're actually listening to what it is we're
I
talking
listen
about.
in way more than
Yes.
I probably should.
I mean, I had an athlete last week, I know I'm behind in the training.
Okay.
And I was like, no, you're doing great. You're showing up to all the sessions. I was like, just keep the course. And I told him exactly. I was like, if you want to do more, recover, sleep more.
Okay.
Eat better.
Yeah.
Foam roll more, stretch more. Those
And
are
what was
things.
their response?
Okay, coach. He listened.
Nice.
So it was just kind of like, don't think you need to double down with hard. You're doing everything great.
Right. Well, I mean, I think the thing is to kind of establish first, most athletes don't overtrain because they're reckless. They do it because they care. Mm-hmm. They care about the
They
results.
want the goal.
They want the goal. They're trying to go a certain direction. So, after that whole imposter syndrome shows up, I would think that most of the time the instinct is simple, just to prove yourself, to show that you belong, to show that you're capable.
you can do the work.
All right. So, and the easiest way to do that is just more volume, harder workouts, tougher things, right? So, Lauren, how often do you see athletes respond to like the insecurity by adding sessions instead of asking better questions?
How often? Wait, what was the beginning of the question? How often do I see what?
How often do you see athletes respond
Oh, all the time.
to insecurity or struggles or challenges instead of asking better questions?
Because it's easier than I think. Again, coming back to imposter syndrome, they don't want to look silly. They're afraid their questions are going to be dumb. So they're like, well, I'm just going to work harder, and like that's going to get me the results rather than like risking looking silly and asking questions.
Okay. Have you seen with some of the people you've worked with? Have you ever seen like some of those warning signs?
Yes.
That they're doing too much?
Yes,
What are some of those-
absolutely.
What are some of those warning signs?
I have.
Maybe I should ask an open-ended question. What type of warning signs?
So, sorry, yeah, open-ended questions are good. I have, clients who've done the same thing. They'll be like, we'll set a plan out, like this is what you're gonna do with these workouts. I want you to make sure you're recovering these days. And then 2 days later, like, well, I did a hard workout on Friday with me, and then I did a Saturday. I did 2 day on Saturday. Sunday was a hard session. I know I wasn't supposed to do a hard session on Monday, but I got caught up and got peer pressured in, so I did one. And then I saw them again like the next day. So they should have had like at least a day or two of semi-easier effort between things, and they were dragging. They were really struggling on something that we both know they should have been able to do easier.
So how did you, what did you say something to them? How
I
did you
did.
address
No,
it?
we just kind of like, as we addressed it, they were very honest with me at the beginning, and we addressed it and we talked about, okay, well, how do you feel? And they're like, yeah, I think I see what you're talking about because everything is feeling super tired and heavy. And then they ended up
taking some time off between things and had like a week off because of like family things, work, blah, blah, blah. And then they basically were into forced rest, plus like easy runs. And then they messaged me and they're like, I've been like, I feel so much better. I feel my body feels good. And I feel rested. I'm so excited for our session. And I was like, okay, well then I expect you to be ready to go for that session.
Nice. What about you, Carlos? Don Carlito?
No, kind of the same. Just have had people like Lauren said, just doing random stuff or just kind of adding stuff in there randomly, whether it's just a workout. One person, I was like, I don't know if I do that workout before the race.
Yeah.
What are the signs though? Like, what are you seeing from them that makes you know that they're? Because I highly doubt they're coming up to you and saying, "Hey, Coach Carlos, I did 20 workouts yesterday. I did a 3 a day." Is that what they're doing, or do you see something kind of coming up that says, "Okay, something's not right"?
No, it's usually. It tends to be, like you said, people that care a lot or like really competitive, and they feel when they're, what's the word where you can tell, not saying, I would say when you can tell is they start to slightly become a little impatient.
Okay.
With the results. They want to feel like they're not getting as fast kind of deal. Start hearing the question, well, how come I'm not getting fast? And I'm like, aerobic fitness takes time. Look where you are from 6 months ago.
Sure.
So you kind of got to not say validate, but just kind of point out certain milestones they've hit, but they're busy looking at this whatever, that 9-minute pace, or we always joke about that, or 7-minute pace is the fast pace.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of they're almost not say fixated, but they're really looking towards that goal. How come they're not there yet? But they've already been through steps 1, 2, 3, and they're at this point now where they're do you remember 6 months ago you couldn't even run a mile,
right?
Or you had never really run a mile, and then now you're doing 5-mile long runs, 6-mile long runs, and just like they're nothing. So those are big accomplishments from where you started or from where a person started versus just when you're just looking forward and not. So it's people that are just kind of fixated on a certain goal, and sometimes they're not really seeing the progress made. That's where then they start just kind of like trying to rush the process.
Gotcha. I think about this, that, there's a lie that I think a lot of athletes believe, and it's simply that if some training is good, more training must be better, And so I had an athlete one time, and we were having a conversation, and we were doing our workouts, our session once a week or what have you. And the workouts, a lot like what Lauren was just saying, that I was giving them, they were struggling. Like, you would think I was trying to
kill them.
Yeah. And they were just dying. And I was like, why are you struggling so much or what have you? And I saw their Instagram posts about the other trainer they're training with and about the other workouts they're doing throughout the week. And so finally I took a moment, I stepped back, and I was asking them or talking to them about the other things that they're doing. Like, hey, this is supposed to be our hard workout, but it seems like we're challenged with doing it. And so, they said, well, I've got to get these workouts in because it's the only way I'm going to get better. And I was like, well, we've talked about the blueprint on how you're going to get better, where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are. And, you're doing it, but then you're adding these other things. And you're adding things that are keeping you from doing the stuff that we've talked about is the direction we want to go. And they turned around and they were like, well, I know you're doing this. I know you're doing that. I know you're doing this. I was like, how do you know that? I don't post my workouts. You don't know what? No, I know. I was like, you work out way more than I do. No, I don't. And so I went through a list of the things that I do. And you would have thought I had told them a bold-faced lie, because that's what they told me. They're like, there's no way. I was like, yes, because it's really simple. Fitness is built in adaptation. It's not built through accumulation.
Yeah.
It's how your body adapts over time. And so we talk about progression all the time. It takes the body 4 to 6 weeks to adapt to any type of new stimulus. Well, if you try to put too much on the body than what the body's ready for, it doesn't have the ability to adapt. It breaks down. And so training stress without the proper recovery is just stress. You're just adding additional stress. And so progress requires some sort of margin of recovery and adaptation. And so between those workouts, so it's not really the hard workouts, right, that get you in shape. It's what happens after the hard workout that gets you in shape. So if I do a really intense effort today and tomorrow I do a really intense effort, well, I haven't given my body enough time to recover from the intense effort I did yesterday to truly build off of that. So what I'm doing is I'm just constantly breaking the system down, and I never give it time to replenish, recover, build, adapt, because it's constantly in a state of depletion or constantly in a state of being broken down. And so, like, one of the biggest things, I think one of the biggest studies or one of the biggest realizations over the last probably 25, 30 years has been the importance of recovery, has been the importance of allowing your body the adaptation time. And so you don't get fit doing a workout. That's what I tell people all the time. People are always, it just like, kills me. This is not the workout that's going to get you in shape. It's sometimes I feel like people come in.
Oh, you mean
gym,
like the one?
like, this
they
is
think
the
this one you're going to walk out and you're going to look the Hulk.
Right. I'm coming to Sunday track, and on Sunday track today, when I leave here, it's going to be like a Rocky montage. I need a montage. And I'm going to roll out, and I'm going to have 6-pack abs. I'm going to have the best calves in the world. And I'm running 4.5 minute paces for everything I do.
Minimum.
Can you imagine
Bare
how
minimum.
popular our run club would be if that were the results?
We would be
Off the charts. We wouldn't be able to get
you
people
see the
away.
results we get. If we got those kind of results,
Oh my gosh.
we could bottle that.
Sell it.
Trillionaires. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
we'd all be retired.
So I think the thing is that, understanding that one workout is not going to get you fit, but intentionality, making a plan, working and recovering, making sure that you're not borrowing energy for today, tomorrow, right? You're not robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're constantly going through all of your volume with intention, and it allows you not to create just additional fatigue, but actually creates real fitness. So, I wonder, when we talk about this thing, when you're programming, when you guys are creating plans, how do you decide what to include and what not to include? How do you go about creating a plan and say, okay, we talked a couple weeks ago about giving up the good for the great.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you do that? How do you create a program?
So it's not just like a hodgepodge.
Yeah.
Basically.
Because adding stuff's easy, right?
Adding stuff's super easy. It's so funny that we're not to sidebar too much, but my Facebook showed me a memory from like 15 years ago at Iron Sports. And I know that because it was tagged and it was a workout I'd written for myself.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Looks like I wanted to die. But now with my clients, I tend to focus the workout on what we specifically, like what's a weakness we specifically need to tackle right now. Like, is it stability? Is it like drive? Is it your endurance? So whatever the block is focused on whatever weakness or imbalance we are really going to try to hone in on.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I base it. And I'll maybe do I'll do a few things that I'll kind of work on around that, like those weaknesses.
Okay. So let me ask this then to follow it up. What do you feel is harder, to add things or take them away?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Looking to take your running to the next level? Whether you're just getting started or chasing the next PR, my dad, Coach James, and BC Fitness have you covered. Join our in-person or online run coaching. Plug into our free weekly run club and train alongside a community that's built different. From High Rocks and OCR to daily group fitness classes at our Houston gym. This is where athletes are made. Come run with us, train with us, grow with us. Visit mybcfit.com and start building your best.
It's really easy to add. It's really easy to just like keep adding things. And I guess when you say take it away, like take something out of the workout.
Yeah. Take out the programming.
Sometimes that can be a challenge because I'll kind of like sit there and be like, oh, is this better for them to have or is this better for them to have?
Right there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Exactly. So
Yeah.
you can just keep adding stuff.
Yeah, you can always add things.
You
But
understand? We have a database in our app, right? In the BC app of workouts we've created. I mean, I don't even know how many there are in there. There's a lot because we keep adding more.
Yeah.
Every single week I add at least one, if not more, interval sets, tempo, threshold, high rocks workouts, high rocks, sled by death or death by, I don't even know what the titles of these things are, right? I don't even know what they are half the time. I got to look at them every single time.
I remember, did I call mine High Rock Strength 1? Or,
exactly.
Or I call it Strength High Rock. I was like, oh, what's that number?
There's so many workouts that we've created, gone through and done. You could just throw anything in there and say, there you go. I got you a high rocks plan, or I've got you a run plan in there. But without the intentionality and without realizing what does this person need to really focus on?
Yeah.
And what do they need to take out?
Yeah.
Right? A couple weeks ago, we talked about that sometimes to get better, you have to remove some things. To move forward, you have to take some things away. And so it's about I think one of the things I push more than anything else, and probably the words you guys have heard me talk about specifically for High Rocks, is less about speed and more about efficiency. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all about being efficient because you're trying to manage all of these different aspects of the race, from running to skiing to sled pushing. So you're doing heavy, you're doing aerobic, you're doing anaerobic. You know, you're
maintaining form.
You're trying to make sure that you don't blow up before the row comes. And so if we're working on being as efficient as possible, well, efficiency is not, let's see how much stuff I can fit in. It's being as effective as you can with what you have, right? It's about taking the most or whatever thing you have, whatever the little list is, and doing the most with it.
Yeah, taking almost like using the least amount of energy needed, you know, to do the row. If you're overreaching, you're kind of wasting energy. Or on the ski, we always talk about, you know, the midpoint is where most of the drive for the fan comes. And you start going down to your feet. Now you're just wasting time, wasting energy, pulling, but not getting any results off of it.
Exactly. You're not getting anywhere from it, right? You're spinning your wheels, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, here's what tells me an athlete is basically overtraining, right? Or under-recovered, whichever you want to call. I mean, I think both of them are the same thing.
Yeah.
Number one, they feel flat during workouts. So they've just got no pop. They've got no spring in the workout. Doesn't matter whether it's the easy workout or the hard workout. Easy runs feel harder than they should. So they go out and do a nice, chill, easy run, and it's just like a drudge, right? It's just tough to do. And it should be something that should not be, right? It's called an easy run.
Yeah, or they're not doing the easy.
Or they're skipping the easy stuff.
Or pushing it hard, doing a, 172 heart rate for a recovery run. Like,
they're dreading sessions maybe they used to enjoy. So maybe they're either not looking forward to them or they're just not doing them. Again, they're skipping them because they're maybe scare's not the word, but because they're just not into it. You know, they're chasing numbers instead of chasing or executing sessions. That is one, to me, I think, is probably one of the biggest challenges I see with the higher performing athletes is that they chase this number, right?
Yeah.
When I say higher performing, I don't really mean like they're the fastest people. I mean, they've gotten into it. They have this desire to get a lot better, and they can see that they have potential to get there. But the thing that becomes the most important is the race or the time. You know, I got to get a sub 60 High Rocks. Like, that's the only thing that matters. And if I don't get a sub 60, I'm a failure, or I stink, or I'm not any good, or I'm never going to be any good. And so they're constantly chasing this number instead of going and executing whatever the session is that will get them better than they were yesterday.
Yeah, and sometimes that arbitrary number of sub 60, that's great goal. But if you are running 5 miles a week and you can run a 9-minute mile fast, it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't do it, but it's going to take some, dedication. And we always talk about aerobic fitness takes time.
Yeah.
So it's going to take, like you said, stacking workouts, being consistent over a long period of time. And maybe, you never know, maybe you just start going 2 months in and all of a sudden your speed is coming because you've never run that fast. But it's something that is not, very unlikely if you haven't run that much before. Sub 60 is going to be hard. So, or just, it's not unattainable, but it might just take a little bit longer.
Right.
If you kind of, depending on what your background is.
Right. Well, I've had athletes before where, we did something for an extended period of time, right? And, you say a long time, or I say a long time. It's really not that long. It's probably, it feels like it is. But I had an athlete one time, they came to me, they were already pretty quick, and we started doing some work, and they were struggling. And when I say struggling, they weren't getting big results when they came in. And so they trusted the process. They stuck with it. We stacked workouts, we stacked days, we did all the right things, and they went and did a race. And they had a little bit of an improvement, like a few seconds, but it was still an improvement, but it wasn't the big improvement. And so we went back and we said, okay, well, we've done that. We've established a new foundation. We're still working. It looks like we need to work on this. This is what I'm seeing. And so we start doing new things to kind of change things up, right? And they went and did another race, and they got another little bit of an improvement, And these are different distances, right? So,
okay.
And they were on different courses, right? And every course is different. But they were making improvements, but they weren't like these huge, big improvements that they were looking for. And it was crazy over the span of, then I was like, okay, well, you've got the fitness. The fitness is there. You're hitting the paces. we need to not race so much. We need to have more time in between the races. We need to focus on developing our pacing strategy, our fueling strategy. We need to start working on some of these detail things because your fitness is there. We just need to like fine tune everything. So we took, like I said, let's just do like 3 or 4 months where you're not racing, you know, because they were like racing. It seemed like a little too much.
Yeah.
And it was insane. We did that. We did the progress. We did the whatever. They went into the race. They were like super confident. They go and they crushed it. Got this huge PR, humongous PR, right? Beat the goal they had planned, all that great stuff, right? And it wasn't that. It really wasn't that long. I think it took right over a year. Okay, well, if I told you that you were going to be able to do this amazing thing and it would take you a year, most people, I think, would be okay with that.
Yeah, I think so.
You know,
Because
especially
we all
for
know a
something-
year goes by so fast.
Exactly. Some people are like, oh, no, that's too long.
Yeah.
I want it now, or I need it in a month, right? You know, the miracle, the funny things you see on like Instagram and stuff are like the
Get your 6-pack in 6 weeks or less. I'm like,
Exactly.
no.
6-minute abs,
No way.
right? 7-minute abs.
Run away from that, please.
So, you know, I think that if we understand that, you know, yes, it takes consistency, it takes effort, it takes time. But I think one of the biggest things that we have to understand is it takes patience. It takes discipline and patience. And understanding that if we are going to make the adaptations or our body's going to make the adaptations that we're looking for, we have to give the body time to adapt. And we can't just hit the panic button when things aren't going as quickly as we think they should.
Random workouts get random results.
That's exact. Oh,
That's
say
really
that again.
that's really well said.
Say it again. Say it again.
Random workouts get random results.
Say it for the people in the back.
Oh, I forgot it. Random workouts get random results.
That's what I'm talking about. So, have you ever pulled somebody back, an athlete back, right before breakthrough?
Never.
No. Have you seen athletes add more, go nuts right before a breakthrough?
Yes.
Right?
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage. I've never sabotaged an athlete.
No.
Not one time. Never. You want to know why?
That's how we get results. That's how we get paid.
If you don't do good, people don't think I know what the heck I'm talking about. So I need you to not only be successful, I need you to be over and abundantly successful. So when
I almost want athletes to wear, when they get injured,
I did
My coach
this
should not
from
encourage this.
This was not Coach Carlos's workout.
Exactly.
So please, if you do
Exactly.
something extra, you should.
You shouldn't get
disclaimer.
them some shirts of shame.
I told someone the
Yes,
other day.
shirts of shame.
They were
Shirts of
asking
shame.
me. They were asking me for some shirt or something like that, and I was like, I don't want you wearing my shirt. I said, what? I was like, yeah, you don't listen to me. I don't want people knowing I coach you. And they started laughing. They were like, what? Yeah. You start listening to me, then you can put whatever you want on the shirt that
you
says
want.
BC Fitness. But until then,
The funny
no,
thing
no,
is,
no.
they were laughing like you're joking, but I feel like you were pretty serious about
I
that.
was very serious. Yes, I was extremely serious. A little tongue in cheek, but 100% serious.
Yes.
So if more isn't better, I would say we have to establish really what is. So I think quality sessions, fewer quality sessions are paramount that are executed well. So one of the things we always talk about with the 80-20 principle is 80% of what we do is easy, 20% is not, right? And when we talk about not easy, we mean
Easy.
like we're talking about like,
Oh, you're talking about like the hard workouts?
yeah,
Oh, I mean,
life-changingly hard.
yeah, you're questioning your decision.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you're not waking up with a little like pit in your stomach because you know that workout's coming, like our Thursday workout, you know it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Because we know this is a day to push.
Yes.
This is not a day we're going to kind of, maybe, do some easy, we're going to do 2,000 on the row, easy pace, guys. No, it's going to be easily intense. You're going to be moving, with a purpose. And there's going to be a finisher to it that's going to be, just as intense,
Right.
if not more.
If
So-
you're throwing a tantrum, you're doing it right.
Yeah.
That's
Well.
me. That's what I say.
So I would just simply say having fewer sessions that are executed very well. And the only way you can execute them well is if you're not trashed when you go to do them. You have to be ready for it. And then every workout should have a purpose. And just because it's not a hard workout doesn't mean there is no purpose to it, right? So we've all heard the term junk miles.
Yep.
So if I use that term, it just usually means that it's not a speed effort and it's not a long run, right? So it's just junk miles. But there's no junk miles. Every run that that I assign has a purpose to it. If just because you have 5 runs that are supposed to be zone 2 or zone 3 and they're supposed to be easy doesn't mean they're not purposeful. Just the purpose is to develop your aerobic capacity. That's the bottom line. So every workout has a clear purpose, and whether you're successful or not is dependent on whether you accomplish the purpose of that workout. And every workout, we follow that up with, every workout sets you up for the next workout. So if I go hard today, tomorrow I need to be recovering.
So like it's like a map. Like
Yes.
kinda, you mentioned how you asked Lauren how you program, do you add stuff? And it's just kind of like you said, where do you put intensity? It's exactly what you said. It's not just, looking at each day individually. You're mapping out that week, that person's week.
Yes.
As far as, okay, we're starting off, Sunday's your rest day. We're going right into an intense workout. We're going to recover, run, lift or something. And then, the cycle, it is laid out, just like you said, to have the body recover.
Yeah.
I've had to change some of my days up before, and I end up mixing up like Thursday, and I did like my long run on Friday, and it's another workout. We're just how my schedule worked out, and it took a toll on me.
Yeah,
just that those little same exact workouts throughout the week, but it was swapped around a different way of not letting my body rest or do that recovery work in between two couple days, and you can feel it.
Yeah,
like you said, that kind of you're dragging by the end of the week.
So recovery becomes a training input. It becomes a purposeful activity that you're doing, usually after the more difficult sessions, so that you can prepare yourself for whatever comes next. So I think one of the last things we have to understand is consistency is paramount. So I know I probably say it ad nauseum, right? And I don't care if you don't like it, Lauren, but consistency beats intensity because intensity cannot stay.
You can't stay intense forever.
That's right.
You can't keep
stay
it up.
Consistent. So we always focus on consistency. So consistent in our 80-20, consistent in our 10% progression, consistent in our recovery, consistent in creating a plan, and consistent in following the plan. So, you don't need more days. You just need better days. Bottom line, one quality session can change more than 3 sloppy ones that you're just pulling out of your backside, right? So if we're going to be consistent, yes, I think sometimes people feel like consistency is boring, but it works.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to unlock your full potential? I want to introduce you to the Fit, Healthy, and Happy podcast, a powerful resource to transform your life today. With expert interviews, practical tips, and inspiring stories, this podcast is your roadmap to lasting wellness. Here's what a listener has to say.
I used to struggle with my health, but this podcast changed everything. It's like having a personal trainer, nutritionist, and life coach totally for free.
With over 2,000 5-star reviews, we're a podcast you can trust. The Fit, Healthy, and Happy podcast, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're successful, it's because you've been consistent.
There's got to be some magic secret.
No.
You got a secret workout.
Carlos.
Where's that secret workout?
No, Coach Carlos.
There's a magic pill.
Nothing.
Are you positive?
I'm positive.
Okay.
Sounds like gatekeeping to me.
That's just kind of like you said, when someone comes to you, like you said earlier, the guy that just couldn't even buy it of the running of, what do you mean slow running kind of?
Yeah.
That's just kind of, there's got to be something more to it.
Yeah.
But once the curtain's pulled and it's, consistent, slow or not easy runs and, a scientific approach to it, there's got to be more.
Yeah, for sure. So here's what, so as a coach, I'm constantly trying to learn something, right? We're always trying to better our education, new certifications, licenses, and sometimes I'm working and learning things that I get no kind of credential from, except for that it helps me be a better coach. You know what I'm saying? So I'm reading something or learning something, right? And, the more and more I'm coaching the higher level athletes, how I do certain things and how I train myself, right? I usually use myself as the guinea pig for most things. And so, a lot of elite athletes will go through these training cycles where, they'll build volume, they'll really build a lot of running volume or what have you. They'll do whatever the training sessions are, and they'll put themselves on the edge, and then the season starts. And in the season, what they do is they tend to, and we always say this on the pyramid, right, of training is the closer we get to the race, the more race specific we get. And so we usually lower volume and raise intensity. And so, I've been experimenting with this a little bit over the last, say, 6 months or so, where I've been going through these cycles where, I'll do higher volume running, a lot of bike riding, as part of my recovery to get that aerobic capacity, but then get that blood flowing. I'll do some double days, right? So double threshold days or something. And then, do whatever other hard workout I'm supposed to do. And, I get tired, I get fatigued, get beat up, just like you were talking about. And the closer I get to a race, I start to taper, I start to back off or what have you. And so the last training cycle, I have seriously lowered my volume in general and the amount of overall volume I'm doing a lot more riding the bike, a lot more recovery work, not just stretching, but actually doing mobility stuff, doing more things that are, and some of it has to do with the amount of time that I have because it's become more finite. But even with that, I keep my quality sessions in, but I make sure that I'm not overdoing the quality session, So I'm not going for a 5-mile run before I do the quality session, or, I'm not taking that quality session and the next day doing another quality session in the morning or something like that.
Yeah.
And so if you were to look at what my training has looked at the last, say, 8 weeks, it would look like I'm not doing anything compared to what I was doing maybe 3 months ago. Okay. So what the experiment I'm kind of working with is simply this, is I start with my foundation. I build as big a foundation as I can. Okay. Now I'm fine tuning and I'm resting my body. We're 4 weeks out from the race. So this last 4 weeks, I'm not tapering as much as I'm lowering volume and increasing intensity and trying to make sure that when I go to those harder workouts, I am fully refreshed and I am recovered so that I'm not struggling so much in the workout. And so what I have found for me is that what it's done is it's really built my confidence more, So I'm not coming, when we go to these hard workouts and I'm getting through with them and I don't feel like I'm incapable of doing them somewhere in the middle of the workout, I'm realizing, okay, this is how I want to feel for the race. This is how I should feel for the race. Now, come race day, is this going to backfire? We'll find out next week. But the way my body has felt, the way my confidence and my mind really has been able to focus on a lot of this stuff, I feel more so than ever before that the idea of being very deliberate about your training instead of just, I'm going to the gym and I'm going to do some stuff today. Making a plan. And there's nothing wrong with trying something for 4 weeks and seeing if it works. Committing to it for two months, 8 weeks or what have you, 2 training blocks, and seeing what kind of adaptations happen. So I think that's the beautiful thing about a lot of the technologies and things that we have today is we have a lot of ways to measure things through the metrics of our watches and the apps and everything. So we can see how our paces are changing. What's our heart rate doing? How much sleep are we getting? How much, what's our HRV? What's our VO2 max? What are all these adjustments? And then if we look over the period, of these different training blocks, we can see how our bodies are affected by that training. Mm-hmm. And so if you don't have a plan, you don't know if what you did
is working or not.
Was working or not.
Yeah.
And so this is a very finite way, a very intelligent way of how you go about getting the type of results that you're looking for without getting to the place where you're overtraining and you're doing too much.
Yeah, just like you said at the start, it's a lot easier to add than to take off kind of deals. If we get too intense and then you're showing up to the race kind of crappy, versus, you're fresh and maybe, what's the worst? You maybe could have a little bit more gains if you're a little bit more intense, but it's where's that line at to getting that to injury?
Yeah.
Like you said, we're always kind of bumping that line, but just too much too soon and then you're injured right before the race.
No, for sure. For sure. Well, my goal for all of our athletes, for myself, hopefully for you guys too, is that we understand that the answer is, not about struggling more, not about going through all these different struggles and making all these bad choices in our training and having to deal with injuries and all that other stuff. So in other words, I'm trying to get us to a place as individuals where we're less reactive and we're more proactive. We're not doing rehab, right? We're doing prehab.
Yeah.
We're not We're not dealing with imbalances because we've already established what they are, and we're working toward making sure that we have symmetry and we have balance, and from left to right, right from whatever issues we may have had in the past. And so, like the best athletes, they don't react; they simply execute. And they execute because they've gone to the drawing board, or they've talked to a coach, they've spoken with someone that knows more than them, and they've taken that information and they've created a plan, and they just simply go out and execute that plan. Well, when it comes to race day and you create a race plan, you're probably only going to do what you've done in training, right? Yeah. So if you didn't stick to your plan in training, if you didn't execute, the training block from week 1 to week 4, when you get into the race, that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to go off the rails and be willy-nilly and just doing whatever you want, what you feel.
Like if you didn't teach yourself not to go out hot.
You would go out hot every time. I would go out hot
every time. There is
not,
I've heard it before of, I'm going to lock in come race time.
Mm-hmm.
But this time
it doesn't exist.
There is no magic switch
of,
all right, switch is on. Now I'm going to pace myself perfectly. You're going to just get excited, and like you do how you train is how you race. Right. Just like you said.
You don't rise to the level of your goal. You fall to the level of your training.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And so when we go out here and we understand that we literally are incapable of doing anything new on race day. If you haven't practiced it, if you haven't ran it, if you haven't done it, you're not doing it in the race. You're not doing it in the event. And more than anything else, you're probably just going to sabotage yourself. And then you're going to feel bad about it. And then you're going to, I just didn't have it on race day. Just didn't have it on race day. No, you didn't do what you were supposed to do on race day. Bottom line,
you didn't have it for the last 3 months. Honestly, that's most of the time. I mean, the race never lies.
Right, it doesn't.
It tells you
Fitness
what you
doesn't
need to
lie. Yeah,
it tells you what you need to work on or what you did work on.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I would encourage you guys. So that's why we're doing this series about the coach's clipboard. Is simply this: is that we all make these. We've all probably either made these mistakes or we've seen somebody who's made them. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're going through it right now. Maybe you're struggling and you're feeling flat in your training, or maybe you've been doing all these things. Right, you just keep adding things to your days and your weeks, but you're not getting any results. You're not feeling any faster, any stronger. The metrics aren't really matching what you feel like the effort you're putting in should be. Well, if that's you, I would challenge you to take a stop and look at your week, look at the activities you're doing and say, what do I need to take out? Or what can I take out? What should I take out? Am I doing too many hard things? Do I not have enough easy volume? Am I not spending enough time recovering? And here's going to be the challenging part. The challenging part is if you're going to add, say, something like a recovery session, you might have to take out something else.
Yeah.
And it is very hard. I'm learning.
Nobody wants to do it.
More. It's very hard to replace sometimes the good for the great, because there's no guarantee in this moment that it's going to make you great. Yeah. And so hindsight's always 20/20. When you listen, when you follow a plan, when you create a plan, it's a good plan, and you see it, you're like, oh yeah, oh amazing, oh best coach ever. But in the beginning, it's really every time I have a new client, every time I a new athlete, that's always, they kind of have this look in their eye of like, just, I'm going to listen to you maybe, but this sounds a little crazy. You know?
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Then they argue a little bit and they want to like tell you all their knowledge and stuff. And really all you want to tell them, well, if you really knew what you were doing, you wouldn't be talking to me. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, you never would say that.
No.
Right?
100% no.
Lauren would say it though. Yeah. I've seen her say it.
I might say something.
You would not.
I might. I would have a try to probably come up with a much nicer way. I would probably come up with a nicer way to say it. Maybe. I don't know. I like to think I'm tougher than I am, guys.
You're tough.
You are. You're a tough gal.
I'm scrappy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
The raccoon. Or the feral raccoon. Is that
ankles beware everywhere.
Ankles everywhere. Be careful.
That's it. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. That's all we have for you today. Remember, you can check out our YouTube channel. You can see shoe reviews. We just dropped that new High Rocks shoe, the Puma shoe. Check it out. Get some of the details on that on our YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, make sure, please subscribe and then share. Share, people. Sharing is caring, isn't it?
Like and comment. Like,
comment, share, and care. If you want to get additional content as well, we just shot this really, really good Patreon episode. I can't even explain how good it was. I mean, it's worth the monthly fee just for that one episode is all I'm saying.
And if you leave a tip, James will send you some socks.
Oh, my gosh. I don't think we can leave tips. I don't even think that's an option. gonna
If you
see
want
I
to
can-
send us a monetary gift on our Patreon,
No.
James will send
Don't
you
listen
some
to Lauren.
socks.
Lauren, I'm gonna have to bleep out everything this chick says. Lord have mercy. We were doing so good.
That's why I saved it
held
for the very
together.
end.
This has got to be a record.
saved it
She's
for the
always
very
one talking
end.
about going off the rails, and she's the first one.
Yeah, she did lose.
I kinda let us off the rails, and then I waited
till
till the
off
end.
the rails.
No.
What she told us.
Lord have mercy. Like I was saying, you can support us by becoming a Patreon member. We have some different levels, but no matter what, you get additional content. And at the end of the year, a lot of times we'll give some super sweet surprises. For our Patreon members from last year, your jersey is on the way. I got it for you. We were waiting on one particular Patreon member to give me his number and his name on the back, and I'm not sure why it took so long for him to figure out he wanted his name.
That was very anticlimactic.
It was super anticlimactic.
The Fabster or something like
Well,
that.
no, I thought he was like
it
trying to
was-
like solve world hunger and peace or something. I don't know.
Put Frank on the back. That was basically it. Just, but we got it though.
That's it. That's it. And if there's something you guys have questions, feel free to hit me up, James at mybcfit.com. You can hit Lauren up as well, Lauren at mybcfit.com. And make sure if you aren't already, you gotta follow us on Instagram at Running with James. You can obviously hit Lauren up at the Backyard Bohemian, and then Carlos at Los 200. It's amazing that I know y'all's Instagram handles better than I know my Instagram handle.
You've changed yours a couple times.
I have not.
You might.
Have you not?
No.
I feel like you've changed it at least
No,
twice.
I've got Running with James,
Okay.
and then I've got BC Coach James.
No, I guess
BC Coach James used to be Running with James, but you wanted to have a Running with James.
I did.
Instagram.
Guys, I fought for that.
She did.
Tooth and nail.
She did. So you better follow it so that
Tooth
she
and nail.
is vindicated.
Yeah.
Right? All right, guys. We appreciate you. Thank you for all you do. No matter what, remember, if you change your mind,
Change your life.
Change your life. Oh my God. I did it.
I think she's 5 for 5.
I thought we did all right last.
No, you were off, I think. She hit it, but you were off.
I was off.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys are awesome.
We'll try.